Okay, so we all love a good fantasy leader, right? Someone who's, larger than life, destined to rule.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the one who doesn't exactly, crave that power? Who feels the weight of legacy, way more than they want a crown?
Interesting question.
That's Aragorn, right?
Yeah, he's a great example.
Our deep dive today, it's all about going deeper with Aragorn, this Lord of the Rings icon.
Really?
We're going to look at what's hidden there,
Hmm.
the weight of being descended from who he is, and those struggles, man, those struggles to become king.
Because it wasn't easy for him.
Not at all. So got to start with that family, right? We see Aragorn, he's this amazing ranger.
Skilled.
Totally. But did you know, seriously, this guy's descended from kings.
Oh yeah, big time.
Not just any kings either. We're talking Elendil's line.
Direct descendant.
Those kings of old. Back when Gondor was amazing,
It's a lineage that ties him to, the whole history of Middle-earth. We're talking way back. Second Age, those first wars against Sauron. It's more than just, oh, here's your crown.
Heavy stuff.
It carries all that, those old victories, the losses, the struggles. Tolkien was big into myths, how bloodlines, they hold power, destiny. Aragorn's a perfect example.
And it's even wilder when you think Aragorn's not some young guy suddenly in charge. He's way older than the movies make him look.
Right. Late 80s he is, during Lord of the Rings.
80s.
Dúnedain blood.
They're different.
Okay, so explain that. I know they live longer, but...
Way longer. But it fades over time, you see. Comes from being Númenórean originally, that ancient seafaring people. Tolkien kind of based them on, the Atlantis myth.
Ah, okay.
That long life. They saw the world differently. Time, change. Most people can't grasp it.
Imagine carrying centuries on you. Kingdoms rising, falling, but you still look kind of young.
Right. It adds something to Aragorn, for sure. Huge. He's seen it all, But also, that depth, the wisdom. Few people have that.
Exactly. Could make you weary, but also that knowledge, invaluable.
It's more than just his age or family, though. He could take back his birthright, be king, right? And he hesitates. Doesn't jump at power. Why?
That's Aragorn for you. The reluctant hero, we call it. Literature, myths, it's a common theme. He feels the weight, you see. What if he messes up like his ancestors?
Heavy burden.
Isildur, the one who cut the ring from Sauron.
Yeah.
Corrupted. That's on Aragorn's mind.
Wow. That fear, messing up, not being good enough. A lot of us feel that, even without magic rings.
Exactly. Makes him human. Extraordinary destiny, but still, self-doubt, fear of failure. Bravery is not feeling fear, it's acting anyway.
And the love story. Don't forget Arwen, Elven, basically immortal. But even their love has a catch.
Big one. Arwen, Elrond's daughter, half-elven, right? She can sail west, the Undying Lands, or stay in Middle-earth, become mortal for Aragorn. But Elrond, he gives Aragorn a challenge. He has to prove he's worthy of Arwen. Not just a ranger with a fancy family. A king. One who unites his people, brings hope when things are dark.
His happiness, his future with the woman he loves, depends on this huge destiny. Intense. His humanity is tested. Can he be king and have this love?
It's a lot to ask.
Makes you wonder, what would you do? That kind of pressure. Could you handle it?
Tough choice, right?
Yeah.
Shows you who Aragorn really is. He could have had it easy, peace with Arwen in the Undying Lands.
Right, just walked away from it all.
But he fights for what he believes, even with the risks, the weight on him.
That's why we love his story. It's not some power grab, not wanting glory. It's deeper. Duty. Love for his people, wanting to be worthy of where he comes from.
And it's not just the big picture, the whole king thing. It's how much he cares. Individuals, not just nations. Aragorn fights for them too.
He's more than a warrior king. Don't forget, he's a healer. Think about that Athelas scene, helping the wounded.
People forget that. Super important detail. Athelas, or Kingsfoil, right? An ancient link to Gondor's kings.
Okay.
Brought from the Undying Lands, way back. Huge for the Dúnedain. It's like Aragorn using it to heal. Almost proves he's the rightful heir,
More than just bandages and stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's his connection to them, their past, their well-being. He's not above getting his hands dirty, literally.
Leading Amby tending to their wounds. Love that.
Exactly. Different kind of strength there. Compassion, caring what happens to people. That's a leader, not just barking orders.
Makes Sauron look even worse, huh?
Night and day, those two. Sauron's power. It's all about him. Control, forcing people down.
Aragorn brings people together. Hope. Fighting back as one.
Right. Aragorn, he doesn't want power just to have it. He gets that being a leader means you serve. You use what you've got to protect people, lift them up. That whole servant king idea. Tolkien was all about that.
And that's where him being a ranger for so long makes
Yeah,
sense.
huge. Decades, right. Not because he was scared or hiding. He was learning about Middle-earth, protecting folks from hidden threats, becoming who he'd be as king.
So even before the crown, he is the servant king, living it.
Totally. You see how those years matter, those centuries he's lived? He's humble, gets it, really sees people, what they need. Sauron could never. Too busy wanting to rule.
Think about those times we don't see. As Strider, just blending in, but doing good anyway.
Proves his character, does what's right, even if nobody's watching, no reward. Those ranger years, it was all serving, protecting, and becoming wise enough to be king.
Like a shepherd, watching out even when the sheep don't know the danger. He sees what's needed and ACTS. Not for glory, but because it's on him.
And that is what makes him amazing. Taking on that burden for others. He doesn't hide from what's expected, his family, all that. He owns it. Knows leadership isn't luck, it's responsibility.
Powerful stuff. What you're born with doesn't matter as much as the choices you make. What you'll sacrifice to help others makes you think, what does it really mean to lead? It's not having every answer or like bossing everyone around.
Yep.
It's stepping up when it's hard, using what you're good at to serve something bigger.
That's Aragorn's whole story, really. From ranger, nobody special, to king of Gondor. Uniting everyone, winning against impossible odds.
Amazing glow up.
But earned every bit of
Like,
it.
just handed to him because of his family.
Right. He had to prove it. To everyone, but especially himself.
And that's what makes the coronation so great.
Oh, I get chills every time.
Me too. It's not just a ceremony, it's all he went through, right? Learn, sacrificed, he became that king.
Exactly. Not just born into it.
And we got to remember the world Tolkien was writing in. World War II, just awful darkness.
Can't forget that context. He'd seen the worst of humanity. Yet he makes this story full of hope, fighting back even when it seems pointless.
And Aragorn asked that hope, kinda. A world where leaders care, they're good people, wanting what's best for everyone.
He reminds us, no matter how bad it gets, there's always that little bit of hope. Things can change. Even the smallest person can make a difference.
That's why we're still talking about him, right? He's more than just a king in a book. He's what we should be. Brave, kind, trying to make things better.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we finish our deep dive on Aragorn, think about this. If you were the leader, what would you do? Would you want power just for yourself? Or would you shoulder that responsibility to serve to make a better world? Think about it.